Now, y'all ain't learned by now. Stephen A. Smith responds to Roseanne Barr. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. Y'all gonna learn, man. Stephen A's been doing this quite some time. I'm like, listen, he understands how to play the field. And he breaks it down so simple for the dumbest person to understand. It's a job. Seeing that it be a job, you have to conduct yourself in a certain way and hold back from your emotional feelings and your beliefs to keep your job. This is the point that Stephen A is making. Well, who gives the right for Stephen A to make comments like that, man? He just don't get it, don't understand. Are you serious? We gotta drop the facts. Do you know how many times Stephen A. Smith has had to apologize, face cancellations? And listen, I don't have to sit here and come up with, oh, these people just coming after us. No, it's business. He says that all the time. It's business. He's had to apologize numerous of times. This is in 2021. Stephen A. Smith uses the opening minutes of popular ESPN program First Take to apologize to Asian community, the Asian American community, to Walt Disney and ESPN for his comments. Quote, I also want to extend a personal apology. Listen, this is my point. This is my point. Y'all coming after him. And even while I was watching the show right here, the News Nation, right? As I'm watching, I'm just like, wow, like we're so quick to pick and choose who we want to come after. You just gotta understand that when you have a platform, and let's think about this. On this I can say what I want on here. There's nobody above me or that I have to answer to that's going to tell me I cannot do this. Other than maybe YouTube guidelines or Facebook guidelines. Everybody's got guidelines out here on what you can and cannot say. When it comes to freedom of speech, we look at a lot of the things that's been happening out here. Crazy work, right? But we already know when you're playing on somebody else's field, in someone else's world, they control the rules. They control what happens and what's being put out here. Stephen A. Smith admittedly mentioned, hey man, I got like 4 bosses over me. Of course, we know Stephen A. Smith is a boss himself, but he's got 4 bosses over him and a standard you have to uphold. I get and understand standards. I'm ex-military. While I was in, there were certain things that you could and could not do. You read the rules and learn the rules of the game. You can manipulate the rules of the game. Listen. And it was so crazy, bro. It's like, man, he's up here bragging, and man, I would brag too. How much work I done put in? 22 years of work he's put in up under with Disney and ESPN, and had to face cancellation, had to face ridicule, had to face losing $100 million deal. Listen. Ain't nobody out here special. Now it's messed up when things happen. I talked about the Jimmy Kimmel cancellation. He had the first one. Roseanne was canceled for her comments. A lot of people get shut down and canceled and suspended for comments. Hell, you say something bad at your boss at work, you might get fired and not be able to work in that field again. We must hold back, stop, wait, think, okay. You mean to tell me, depending on what I say and how I say it, can affect my financial living? Yes. There's rules out here. There's things. There's a tightrope you can walk when it comes to doing media like this, content like this. You're gonna ruffle some feathers. You're gonna hurt some feelings out here with the things that you may say, but you're gonna have to face what comes after it. We always talk about there's a First Amendment, First Amendment. Right, we get it. We understand First Amendment. But what we're not getting is when you use your First Amendment and say what you want to say, you can say it. Right. And you're all right in saying it. But there is always repercussions. And where there's a cause, there's an effect. When you affect something, there's a cause. It goes both ways. So whatever you put out here, expect some of that energy coming back. That's why it's so important to put out as much good stuff you can, and there's going to be things we don't agree with. There's going to always be something we don't agree with. A great business deal, both ends of the business deal loses. What? Yes. Everybody don't always get what they want in negotiations. But when it comes to speaking out of your feelings and emotions and things that you believe in, there's no space for it in the professional world. We see it every time. And we may believe in what these people are talking about. We may really agree with what a lot of these people are talking about. But at the risk of your job, at the risk of you feeding yourself, are you ready for that? And if you are ready for that, congratulations to you. Accept what comes and face it, and don't run to the internet crying about it. It is what it is. You stood up to the bear, and the bear slapped you around. And you got to figure it out. What Rosie say? Rosie talking about, hey, now I'm a professional troll. We use words to express ourselves. And sometimes them words hurt. Sometimes them words will cut deep. And we live in a society now where people are so sensitive to what you say, do, man, how you dress. You can simply not really be bothering anybody and offend them some type of way. You black, you understand that. It's inside, man. I have to get my take on this, man. Everybody always comes after Stephen A. Smith, man, and never really use the whole context. And listen, you're getting paid millions of dollars to give your opinion, and your opinion ends up offending a community or culture of people. They're quick to want to eliminate you. But what people forget is a lot of people make mistakes. In the heat of a moment, talking behind this mic, you could say something that may not go with the guidelines, and you might have to double back to keep your way of living. But you got people out here that ain't got no money, ain't got nothing going on with their opinions talking about, oh man, if I was in his shoes, man, I would go ahead and tell them people, F them. And that's probably why you're not in his shoes. It's Inside Speaks, man. I'm your host, Inside. I'm always going to give my take on things. This is what I do. This is my new career. You can say what you want about me because ain't nobody counseling me but myself if I feel like quitting, stopping. But that ain't in my repertoire. It's Inside. Stay locked in. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and leave your comments and takes on this. Remember, I am a father. I am an ex-soldier. I'm a veteran, so I think a little different than you civilians. It's Inside. Let's go. That's why you got to stand on what you stand on, but don't mess up the bag.